Taz Effect hits you like a wave, a fresh new spin on the news you crave. Turn the page and you'll see the light, a different angle that feels so right. No more waiting for the truth to show. Every story starts to glow. Daily news in a way you didn't know. It's the Taz Effect that steals the show. Open your mind, let the colors flow. Daily news in a way you didn't know.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me here for the Taz Effect Daily News in a way you did not know that you could use. There is homework, so much going on. Quick little housekeeping. If you wanted to get information or view the depositions of Bill and or Hillary Clinton, my YouTube channel at TazJ77. Just wrapped up the Bill Clinton deposition. Do keep in mind that both depositions are 4 hours and 30 minutes each. And I did add some commentary for clarification. I tried not to interrupt too much. There we go. Regarding that, sorry. For those listening in over the GCPR airwaves, all over social media, thank you. We welcome you. We're glad that you're here. Now, let's get this started. Unfortunately, we are not live on TikTok at the moment. I don't know what's going on over with the app right now. So we're just here. By kicking off strong, Sean Diddy Combs' release date moved up, federal records show. Sean Diddy Combs is now expected to be released earlier than initially thought. The rapper, who was serving a 50-month sentence for prostitution-related charges, is scheduled for release on April 25th, 2028, according to Federal Bureau of Prisons records. Oh, that's a way to just preemptively screw up my birthday weekend and week. My birthday's April 24th. Get your gifts ready. Combs was sentenced in October to 4 years and 2 months in federal prison after being convicted of transporting people across state lines for sexual encounters. He was acquitted of separate sex trafficking and racketeering charges that carried potential life sentences. The 56-year-old remains housed at a low-security federal correctional institute in Fort Dix, New Jersey. He was transferred there in late October from New York's Metropolitan Detention Center. Prosecutors said Combs spent years flying girls and male sex workers around the country for drug-fueled sexual encounters in multiple locations. He was convicted under the Mann Act, a federal law that prohibits transporting people across state lines for illegal sexual activity. Defense attorney Jason Driscoll argued that the statute was misapplied to Combs' case, the Associated Press reported. Hey, Annabelle, thank you for joining. Hey. I know a lot of people, myself included, were upset with the sentence that he received and what he was acquitted of versus what he was convicted of. But when I say that things like this are y'all's fault, and by y'all I mean the public, this is what I mean. With the conspiracy theories, but they have this amount of money, this couldn't happen. You thinking that your life is the same as somebody else's life and all of these different things, this is the outcome. When you refuse to learn the order of operations, remove yourself from it and stop coming up with conspiracy theories because you don't understand how something works. This is what we end up with. I don't know what to tell you. So moving forward, if you don't want this anymore, I don't know, stop making everything a conspiracy theory. That's just a thought. Now, unless you are under a rock and actively avoiding reality, you know that the United States, aka Air Trump, aka the Tangerine uh, Trump tank, Oranga Trump, sorry, decided to declare war on Iran for the sake of BB from Philly. And many Trump sycophants, some knowingly, are doing this, and they're secretly, privately shaking in their boots because they know that they're poking the bear they should have never tried to poke, and others don't realize they're cloaked in ignorance that killing the Ayatollah didn't do what they think that it did. Nowadays, conspiracy theories don't really um, make it hard to trace back. People would rather be distracted by these mythical, illogical tales. They would rather get their fiction from reality that affects other people. Now, old school conspiracy theories, I'm right there with you. It took away from the truth because old school conspiracy theorists, their conspiracies were plausible, where it messed up the whole scheme of things. Nowadays, it doesn't make any sense. It just goes to show just how stupid people are. But with that being said, what I mean by the taking out the Ayatollahs didn't do what they thought it was going to do. This explains it quite expressly. Let's get into it. Oh, does it not want to play that?
Trump does. The leader falls, someone fills the seat. The movement lives or dies by who steps up next. But there's a 1,000-year tradition that solved the problem in a way we are too cocky to bother understanding. And they posted the solution. Let me explain. Look at this image. No face, no full body, just a robe, a hand, a sword on fire. The most important thing here is what this image refuses to show you. This is the tradition the image is drawing from. In Shia Islam, an imam is not just someone who leads prayer. An imam is the rightful heir to Prophet Muhammad's authorities, a specific person, a specific lineage, whose physical presence is the location of the sacred. When the Prophet died, the community fractured over one question: who holds the sacred now? The Shia said it was Ali, the Prophet's cousin and son-in-law. Ali was assassinated, his son is poisoned, the state kept killing the rightful heirs. Imam after imam was surveilled, imprisoned, poisoned, until the 12th one, a child who simply vanished in 874 AD. Institution, like Christianity, had a choice. You either admit the line was broken or you theologize the disappearance. And they theologized it. They said he didn't die. He went into hiding, what the tradition calls occultation, protected by God, present but invisible, returning at the end of time to establish justice. This is a leader that you cannot see, cannot touch, cannot verify. And that unverifiability becomes the point, because bodies are vulnerable. Bodies get surveilled, and the entization was trained to orient itself around that absence, to find the invisible more trustworthy than the visible, to wait for a body that never arrives and call that waiting spiritual maturity. This image is that theology, a faceless figure, no flesh, just a symbol. It is announcing a death by not announcing a death, because the symbol was never located in the body to begin with. You cannot create a vacuum where there is already a theology of absence, and that is partly why, for hours, Iran said nothing. State media called his death mental warfare. When they finally confirmed it, they didn't say our leader was killed. They said the supreme leader of Iran has reached martyrdom. They waited until the word ripened, because the word is the theology. Trump thinks that he ended something, but he doesn't understand that the institution has already done the theological work to survive its own leader's death. Trump didn't end the movement. He completed the narrative that was already written for this moment. And here's the question closer to home: whether Trumpism has already done the same work here, whether the symbol has already separated from the body, whether the movement has already learned how to locate itself in an absence, a stolen election, persecution narrative, a return that is always around the corner. Because if it has, we also don't have a succession problem. We have a tradition, and Trump cannot end a tradition by killing a man, and neither can we. I am Connie Chen, here to help you deconstruct everything. My full women in
I want you to consider something. Because people always talk about this litmus test and Palestine and Gaza and Israel and all these things and going, oh, we're beholden to Israel. Israel is in control of this country. No, it's not. Christian Zionists are in control of this country. Because just like with the Ayatollah and that theology that surrounds it, it is Christian Zionists that hold the pulse of this country. And it is because, one, church and state are to be separated. The United States is supposed to be a safe haven to however you want to or do not want to practice any type of spirituality or religion. Two, too many of y'all sit back and put everything in the hands of a few and then complain when the few do what they want to do. U.S. urges citizens to immediately depart over a dozen Middle Eastern countries. Now, some people are over there because they work there. Some people are over there, like some relatives of mine, because they're vacationing. And the relatives of mine that are over in the Middle East are vets. You would think that they would be paying more attention to geopolitics, especially with Trump in the office. But dumb is as dumb does. Oh, what did you think that I was going to say? I keep telling y'all, and this is no tea, no shade to active military or vets. Just because somebody served does not mean that they can lead. The biggest qualifier for the military is the ability to follow directions for somebody else to tell you what the hell to do. Hey, Nightbird. Yeah, a little bit better today. Just still exhausted. All these news updates have been whooping my behind because we were up. There were a handful of us. Well, I should say more than a handful. They were up well over 1 a.m. Eastern going over the Hillary Clinton deposition. The U.S. Department of State on Monday called on Americans to immediately depart more than a dozen countries in the Middle East, including Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, amid U.S.-Israeli strikes against Iran. And you know what? People in the U.S., especially Black folk in the United States, actually everybody, the Middle East has become the new Miami Beach. And what do I mean by that? First, it was Myrtle Beach. Then it was Miami Beach. Now it's Dubai. Now it's the Middle East, where it's the destination hotspot for vacations, where people act like, if you the who's who, if you got a lot of money, this is where you're going. You do realize they become hotspots because they're actually budget friendly, right? Y'all just convince one another that you got to have big money to go to these spots. Things that are more expensive are going to be more exclusive. Therefore, there are going to be fewer people there. Y'all kill me going to certain places and then bitching and complaining that you can't get into places because of overconsumption. So that means it's what? Yeah. We went from maybe you would hear one or two people in your lifetime talking about going to certain places. Then it turned into a handful of people going to certain places on social media that you would hear about, to the point where they started coming up with conspiracy theories regarding women who chose to vacation in certain spots in groups of women or solo. To now, every other day, somebody is in that destination. Sure, welcome. It's so silly, my bird. But Trump is in office. Y'all see every day what's going on with ICE and Border Patrol. You see people being hassled and haggled at customs, coming and going from the country. You hear the reports with receipts of people having to turn over, having to unlock their phones and turn it over to people who are not properly trained and are still human beings. They're like, well, there's nothing in my phone. Really? Nowadays, you got amateur porn in your phone. and you are the star. Hey, Nana J. No, TikTok is being weird today, Nana J. Your banking information is in it, all sorts of things. And y'all think that they're just looking for if you talking bad about Trump? Okay. And now y'all done decided to go on vacation in this economy. With this is why we cannot move ahead. Just imagine if in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and early 70s, if certain marginalized folks were more concerned about trying to vacation or buy a new house or put together the best outfit to shit on somebody else, where we would be. Because we're definitely in the middle of a hostile government takeover. And our government is trying to turn into the Axis. Quiet as kept where they always wanted to be, but I digress. We can talk about that on another day if y'all like. And y'all were worried about y'all worried about vacationing outside of the country. Maureen Namdar, the State Department's Assistant Secretary for Consular Affairs, said U.S. citizens should leave using available commercial transportation due to safety risks. There is no available commercial transportation. And you want to know how unserious you dumb assholes are? Like I said, I have a relative that's stuck. You want to know how I knew that they were stuck? One, their mother put up a post. You can guess on what platform. But they posted a video of the hotel next to the hotel that they're staying in getting hit by a, you know what? Keep in mind, former military. How much combat experience do you think? And I'm just sitting here like, I ain't going to nobody's funeral. I'm not putting in on nobody's funeral either. Y'all wanted to show that y'all got it going on financially? Figure it out. I am done. I am over y'all playing these games. I'm over y'all acting like you are the superstar of a movie or a reality show and these things aren't actually happening. That this stuff can't happen to you. I say let them all go on vacation and eat that special chicken they're cooking just for Americans right about now, because I'd be serving it up if I was out. Hey, I agree with you. Because I'm just sitting here like, why are you out of the I would not dip my toe in Canada right now, and I have nothing against Canada. Nothing. I'm talking about our border patrol, our ICE, and how they're treating people. And we don't know who Trump is going to jump bad on next. We really don't. We do not know. This is an administration that looked at international waters and started blowing people to bits. And we are on our own because, one, we only want to get up and fight and act like Karens and Richards for the right reasons when it directly affects us. And even then, we want to outsource the outrage. We want to outsource the activism. We want to outsource the method of getting to change. We go into other people's countries and tell them how to do stuff so that we can better prepare ourselves. We have destabilized so many people. We have bullied and harassed so many people that they're like, we do not care that they are committing acts against humanity, against their own people. They got it. They're on their own. We have spent so long marketing to the globe that we the biggest, the baddest to ever do it, that we the freest, the smartest, the most intelligent. You can't make it. You can't win the title till you come over here to America. And here we are. Here we are. Y'all sitting here talking about saving Palestine. And y'all not even willing to save yourselves. Y'all were fighting to go outside to die during COVID lockdown. Same people who jokingly complain about it costing to inhale and exhale. Like, oh, the outside is so expensive, but you couldn't be inside. Y'all with kids. Oh, your life is not complete till you have kids. But when you had to be in the house with them kids, you were losing your mind. Y'all sitting telling women, you ain't a woman till you get married, you put a ring on it, put a ring on it. But then when you had to be in the house with that husband, when you had to be in the house with that wife, y'all didn't want it. And now we have people dying in detention centers, dying in the street, being kidnapped just trying to go to work and go to school. And just like during COVID, y'all said, yep, this is the perfect opportunity to go on vacation, girl. They got a 2-for-1 special. Yep, round trip is $300. You got to get on that. You are putting a price tag on yourself. They know exactly how much you were worth, and they're willing to pay that cost. Yeah, I've never understood that. You owe your mother grandchildren. You don't owe nobody damn kids. And here's the thing: what pisses me off with people who say that is like, you had children, not for the sake of raising children, loving on them, creating a whole nother generation to hopefully make society better. You had children for the sake of having kids to spoil and send back home. Okay. Okay, let's get this open. Here we go. Number one, when it comes to the conflict with Iran, when it comes to anything to do with the news, one, I'm going to need y'all to read past the headlines. If you do not have the time to do that, if you are not up to speed on things, that's fine. There are plenty of outlets, there are plenty of journalists, independent and otherwise, that can explain it to you. But I'm tired of y'all jumping on stuff or flat out lying for the sake of attention and putting stuff out into the ethos. If I have to stop my regular, smegular, degular work schedule to impromptu research something, thinking that I have missed something, just to find out one of you raggedy bitches lied for the sake of attention, I am going to start putting you on blast, and I'm going to cuss you out in a way you ain't never been cussed out before. I am going to cuss you out so intellectually, it will be this time again, 10 business years from now, before you will realize you should be offended. But in the meantime, in between time, I will have you reconsidering and doubting your entire existence. I'm so sick and tired of this shit. If you are that hard up for attention, go get a pet. And I mean that. I mean that. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm not going to sit here and coddle y'all. Hell no. I am here to give you things in a way you didn't realize you could use it, and to give you the unadulterated, slightly filtered truth. Stop. Now let's move forward. Navy issues nuclear warning about China's threat to large portions of the U.S. The head of the U.S. Navy issued a warning Monday about China's military capabilities following an uptick in production of more advanced submarines. Rear Admiral Mike Brooks said in a statement to U.S.-China Economic and Security Review Commission that the Chinese Navy was dramatically increased production and could soon strike large portions of the United States. Hey, how about this? Instead of issuing a warning to everybody else, how about the United States stop trying to bully people? We're not even trying to be keyboard warriors. We huffing and puffing, trying to blow the whole house down, knowing that soon as they open the door and be like, hey, what's up, partner? We ain't about that life. These folks ain't playing with us no more, especially with the Doofenshmirtz but in the damn West Wing. We are being run by the village idiots and his incestuous spawn of a cabinet. Our best chance with that cabinet is the gay man. And yes, I know conservative Republicans ain't supposed to be down with the LGBTQI, but they are. But the gay man is the only one that can fight. Literally. And we don't know if Susie Wiles is LGBTQI or not. She kind of got the walk and the haircut, but who am I to speculate? These submarines will incorporate substantial advances in nuclear reactor design, sensor performance, weapons integration, and noise quieting technologies, Brooks said about two new Chinese submarines, the Type 095 and Type 096. Brooks warned that the Type 096 will be able to target large portions of the U.S. from protected waters near China's coast. Go say you sorry to China. And start paying the people what you owe. I know Trump got y'all thinking that the world owes us money. No, we're in debt to everybody. We are the little sister. We are the younger sibling. Okay, we running around to all our older siblings asking them for $50. We running up to everybody like, "Hi, $50. You ain't got $50? Give me $50." That's what we doing. We owe everybody. The announcement came on Monday as increased concern for nuclear capabilities unfolded due to U.S.-Israel military strikes in Iran and subsequent retaliatory strikes throughout the Middle East. Over the past year, the Chinese Navy has made significant advances in shipbuilding and force projection, from commissioning its most advanced aircraft carrier, CNS Fujian, to conducting two notable distant deployments in the broader Western Pacific and around Australia, showing it is increasingly capable of challenging American naval supremacy. And I'm going to say something that's probably going to piss some people off. I don't give a damn. Because what you going to do? Write a strongly word email to somebody? Culturally, there are a lot of countries where folks on that soil speak English. Culturally, we are all different. Hell, in the United States, depending on where you take a left turn, where you take a right turn, or where you decide to go straight, culturally, things are different. Talk about the news in your neck of the woods. Being completely detached from the United States and trying to report on our news, missing the nuance, missing the context, missing a whole bunch of things. Just stop. Talk about what's going on in your neck of the woods. Talk about what's going on that you can relate to and you truly can explain. Y'all trying to get the attention and get people to fangirl over you here in the United States is not going to do what you think it is, especially since a lot of y'all in these countries that don't have creator funds. What is the point? You're putting all of this energy into something that you can't even profit from, and you're not even getting correct. Drive to Chicago. I'm in Chicago. Supreme Court blocks law against schools outing transgender students to their parents in California. The Supreme Court cleared the way Monday for California schools to tell parents if their children identify as transgender without getting the student's approval, granting an emergency appeal from a conservative legal group. The order blocks, for now, a state law that bans automatic parental notification requirements if students change their pronouns or gender expression at school. Here is the thing. And before you go, well, conservative parents are just advocating for parents. Parents have a right to know. Children have a right to autonomy. And if you are parenting properly and you are a safe trusted adult for your children, you would already know what they got going on at school. If we keep taking away the safe spaces for children, we end up with millions more Epsteins and Maxwells. Y'all cannot keep compartmentalizing you all yourselves out of real life, out of reality, out of the day-to-day order of operations of things. Y'all are sitting here going, I don't see how they did this for so many years. It was such a cover-up. This government no, I keep telling y'all are the cover-up. Y'all are the cover-up. Y'all let stuff like this slide because you compartmentalize everything away from each other. You refuse to put the puzzle pieces together and look at the entire picture. You enjoy breaking things apart and then coming up with a new conspiracy and a new fanfic regarding everything. You live life like it's one gigantic woodpack. And who is it helping? What justice is it bringing? What change is it bringing? Y'all keep wondering why we are stalemated. This is why. This is why. Y'all are the type of people that still don't get the subjects that they have you children focus on in school and how they go together. And even if you don't go on to trade school, don't go on to college, just go right out into the workforce, how those things go together to get you through the basics of society. Because y'all look at math classes only being about math class. You don't look at the fact that you got to get through English class so you can understand math class, and you got to understand math class so you can get through science. Y'all kind of sort of got it during lockdown. Then when lockdown was over, you didn't care anymore. And the reason why so many people think that teachers are indoctrinating students is because so many people do not believe that teachers should have an outside life because they look at teachers as on call, by force, au pairs. They look at teachers as the ones that are supposed to nanny, aka raise their children. This is why, hey DJ, this is why you have people go, oh, you send your children to daycare, you're letting someone else raise your children. Because the ones that are that judgmental, they're the ones that are banking on somebody else raising their children. They're the ones that show up to the family events and immediately sit down. And they're like, well, I got the kids up. I got them clean and dressed and got them here. Oops. Mm-hmm. Doctor responds as photo of Donald Trump's neck rash raises eyebrows. President Donald Trump Sr.'s doctor said Monday that the president is using a prescribed preventative skin treatment on the right side of his neck, a topical cream expected to cause temporary redness for several weeks. I'm gonna need y'all to stop lying to us because we need to get our PTO together, put together a menu for the repast, figure out what we wearing. Like, are we picking a color? Are we doing the standard black? Because I'm gonna need y'all to stop. We see the writing on the wall. And the way Trump is trying to escalate going through his legacy bucket list is astounding. No, they don't fail to understand. They don't fail to understand. They don't respect educators. And because teaching is still looked at on the non-secondary level, teaching is still looked at as a woman's career. They still look at women as being the caretakers of children and no more, no less. You have to realize for quite a while. White women, and you have other women in society that decide to whitewash themselves because internalized racism and misogyny is a mofo, um, haven't really had to raise their own children. This is why they love that trad wife mentality, because those that truly understand what a trad wife is, a traditional wife wasn't raising no babies. She wasn't cooking no food. She was going to shop and going to brunch and having nails done. Just like when they go, "Ah, you're leaving the house in pajamas and a bonnet." Did y'all forget that during what, by historic standards, the best dress era in US history was also when white women were going to do their groceries in their pajamas with a long trench coat on and visible roll curlers in their hair and a scarf over it? They're projecting onto these educators because they are banking on other people raising their kids. They just want, just like men, and if it don't fly, if it don't apply, let it fly. It makes you look better because they're constantly talking about, you're worth, you're worth, you're worth. If you don't have this, they don't look at as children as autonomous human beings. Look at people who work in restaurants and their content and how many times they talk about people calling in reservations and not including children, and then getting upset that you didn't just automatically have space for these kids that they didn't include in the counts. President Trump Sr. is using a very common cream on the right side of his neck, which is a preventative skin treatment prescribed by the White House doctor. The president is using this treatment for 1 week, and the redness is expected to last for a few weeks, said Sean Barbarella. Dr. Sean Barbarella said in a message to reporters. Preventative for what? And why would it cause redness for weeks? Because that doesn't seem like it prevented a damn thing. Neither Barbarella nor the White House have said why Trump needs the treatment. Newsweek has reached out to the White House via email on Monday night for comment. The note from Trump's doctor comes after the neck rash raised eyebrows on social media as the president spoke during the Medal of Honor ceremony at the White House. Yeah, that's not redness. That's a full blown freaking rash. Like, that's elevated portions of the skin that we all can see. That's not preventative. Is death fighting its way out of his body? I'm asking for myself. I'm not gonna say I'm asking for a friend. Um, so I'm just like, what are we lying and saying that we're preventing? Okay, those of y'all, it's race. It is not a pretty sight. Um, um like I don't. That looks like something you don't touch that on the side of his neck with somebody else's stick, and I mean literal stick. Like if you were just happenstance to be collecting sticks off the ground, you wouldn't even borrow your neighbor's stick to touch that. Like he probably does have that super gonorrhea. Super gonorrhea expialidocious. Cause what that thing on his neck looks quite atrocious. Can he just die? Can he just die? Let me just stop that. Now we know that Trump has a love hate with the White House Correspondents' Dinner because he doesn't have a personality. Okay. And he does not like that I'm sorry, that Biden does fairly well with the Correspondents' Dinner. And we know Mr. Swag, I surf, it's swag. Obama knocked it out the park. Okay. And Obama used that time to roast the hell out of Trump. Okay. That roast was the first time that Trump had a proper coloring. Man's got some raw feet on his nussy. Okay. So Donald Trump will attend greatest, hottest White House Correspondents' Dinner. That's not my headline. After years of boycotting the White House Correspondents' Associate Dinner, U.S. President Donald Trump Sr. said that he will attend the 2026 dinner. He added that the correspondents called him the greatest president in history, following which he accepted their invitation to be the honoree for the upcoming event. Bitch, it's at the White House. Who? They called you the greatest president, did they? Really? Or do you need to start having events at the White House to distract from the fact that you tore down the East Wing and you have no plans, no budget, no nothing of rebuilding it? You didn't think that they were actually going to demolish the East Wing. You thought that they knew that you were posturing, and you just thought that they were just going to drape a tarp all over and tell people that you had tore it down. I know. On March 3rd, Donald Trump took to Truth Social, where truth goes to slowly die, to announce that he'll be attending the 2026 White House Correspondents' Dinner, which will take place on Saturday, April 25th, 2026 at the Washington Hilton. Why is everything got to be the day after my birthday in 2026 and in 2028? What the hell? What the heliante? What the Halle Berry? What the Halle Bailey? What the heck? It's the only adjective he knows. Because words are hard for Elmo. Trump's post read, "The White House Correspondents Association asked me very nicely to be the honoree at this year's dinner, a long and storied tradition since it began in 1924 under then President Calvin Coolidge." He added, "In honor of our nation's 250th birthday and the fact that these correspondents now admit that I am truly one of the greatest presidents in the history of our country, the GOAT, according to many, it will be my honor to accept this invitation and work to make it the greatest, hottest, and most spectacular dinner of any kind ever." I know it's been a while since he attended a correspondence dinner, but did he forget how this goes? The hottest? Baby, if you're going to be there, it's not going to be hot. You are not attractive. You are where attractive goes to decompose. Or not fully formed, according to how your undercarriage is described, but pish posh. The Republican went on to explain that he boycotted previous events because the press was extraordinarily bad to him. They hurt his feelings. They hurt his feelings. Oh, it's your baby didn't get his way and he just couldn't handle it. It's such a sad, sad case. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. She's a peach. He alleged that they reported fake news from the beginning of his first term, but now he is looking forward to attending the dinner this year and hopes it will be something very special. Before becoming the president, Trump had often attended the WCHA event as a guest. However, after he became president in 2017, he actively boycotted it. Can you imagine purchasing tickets to an event? Because he wasn't an invited guest, okay? Let's be real. In the hopes that you could make friends, that you could increase your networking circle, and you don't. Then you become president, essentially the host of the event, and they still don't like your ass. They still don't like your ass. Yeah, he called himself the GOAT, Nana J. Every time he uses Gen X terms, an angel dies. Yeah, that's not even a Gen Z term. That's AAVE. Every time he uses AAVE, I'm pretty sure Sojourner Truth and Harriet Tubman visit him in his dreams. Visit him in his dreams. And Hop Dadas, like they Freddy Krueger 2.0. His reason seemingly stemmed from the 2011 dinner where both then President Barack Obama and comedian Seth Meyers poked fun at him. Obama spoke about Trump again at the 2016 event, months before the 2016 United States presidential election. Finally, during the 2017 annual event, comedian Hassan Minhaj addressed Trump's absence, calling him the elephant that's not in the room. It's a good joke. It's a good joke. I forgot about that line. For the last few years, the WCHA dinner was mostly hosted by comedians like Colin Jost and Trevor Noah. However, the organizers have taken a new direction by bringing in mentalist Oz Perlman to host this year via the WHCA website. Oz Perlman, hold on. Wait a second. So, hold on. A mentalist with, you want, you, is he a mentalist like the mentalist? So, no jokes. Oh, he's, so Oz Perlman, Oz the Mentalist, is an American mentalist, magician, author, and marathon runner. So, of course, Trump will come. Why not chill with a 43-year-old who's going to read your mind? Wouldn't it be funny if the organizers got this mind reader, Oz the Mentalist, and then decided to ask various members of the Trump family, to give a little speech, and each one of them decided to roast Trump? I mean, he's named none of y'all as his successor. He ain't called not he ain't said a nice thing about none of y'all. He done messed up y'all business aspects and everything. One of y'all just wanted to go off to the military, shoot off a gun, have bitches. Can't even do that. I don't think anybody knows that person, DJ. I don't think anybody knows. So another one bites the dust, and another one's gone, and another one's gone. Another one bites the dust. What am I talking about? Another House Republican calls it quits. All together now. Another one bites the dust, and another one's gone, and another one's gone. Another one bites the dust. Montana's representative, Ryan Zink. We made up. You came here to dance with me. Oh, hey, Puddin' Pop. I think I'm back on Harley's good side. Yay, me. Hi, Miss Mamas. Hey, yeah. You came to dance with me? Oh, okay. You gonna rock with me all night. Dance you into the sun. You gonna rock. Yes, I sing to the dog. Maybe if you sing to your dog, they'll like you a little bit more. Then Jay said, hi, Harley. Look at your tail just to go in. All right. Okay. Montana's representative, Ryan Zink, is hanging up his congressional hat, announcing Monday he won't seek re-election in what's shaping up to be a major shakeup for House Republicans. The former Interior Secretary blamed health woes for his exit. You coming down with the blue wave-itis? DJ said hi, Harley. She went back to go watch her little true crime show. She came back. You want me to tell her hi? She said hi. Yeah. Okay. I won't bother you no more. Go ahead and watch your show, girl. I'm just happy to be back on the right side of your good side. Thank you. um, Revealing he's been through multiple surgeries since returning to Congress in 2023 to repair injuries from his Navy SEAL days, Politico reported. Stop electing people just because they're like, yeah, I'm a vet. So is Mr. PP Pans, the elder millennial. The elder millennial. Also a vet. But if you've been having all these surgeries since 2023, why didn't you step down then? So what have we been paying you to do? Like, I get it. You stayed so that you wouldn't have to pay out of pocket for all these surgeries. I get it. I get it. I get it. But how about you vote so the rest of us can do that too? Y'all want a better side note. You want a better, more stable economy? You want smarter children, therefore a smarter economy? You want to know what that starts with? A healthy society. Remind Congress that we're not buying the BS anymore. We know that they get universal health care, so we know that it works. We want it as well. You want to protect your stock trading? Stock trading is contingent upon products and services and how well they are bought and sold. Cliff Notes, dumbing it down version of this, okay? That is contingent upon people being able to make it to work, people being able to educate themselves, people being able to then take what they got from educating themselves and working and then come to the place of business and get the products, get the services. If we all at home hacking up lungs and trying to push back in our eyes that are trying to pop out and wrapping duct tape around all of our limbs, how well is that going to work out for anybody? The injuries sustained from a career in special operations are not immediately life-threatening, but the repair cannot be deferred any longer and recovery will require considerable time with Lola and the family. My name is Lola. So you need to be home to do the Uchi Coochie Wally Wally with your wife in order to recover. Just say that you know you can't win. You can't win, child. You can't get. You should have spoke up about Trump a long time ago. It is ending a whole bunch of y'all careers. A whole bunch of y'all actually had aspirations to do things. And many of y'all had aspirations to really truly get into public service and serve the public. But because you stayed silent, mum was the word. You turned into mumra. And now it's over. All of the sacrifices, worthless. I have a family. I have two family members, actually, that I just shake my head at them because I'm like, y'all wasted so much money and so much of other people's money and time. Two children invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in things for. Then abruptly took the kids out of the specialized school, all of the Columbines and everything they took the kids for. Oh, that you're not doing that sport. No, you did. That's essentially what's happening with these Republicans. Because he ain't an old man, child. He ain't. But not only is another one biting the dust as far as representation, another king of the zombies. Well, sometimes you got to bring out an oldie, but, well, he's not a goodie, but you get what I'm saying. Another musician slams White House for using their music in disgusting and inhumane post. Yet another musician has slammed the White House and the Trump administration for using their music without permission in a disgusting and inhumane TikTok. Donald Trump's. This is written really weird. It was not written like this when I originally pulled this. I don't know what. I do not know what's going on online today. I really don't. This is like the fourth time I've pulled something up after vetting it, after looking at it, and the way that it's typed out, and no, it's not my eyes. The way that it's typed out has changed. Like there's extra letters, accents. It's odd. I don't know. So I'm gonna do my best to get through this. Uh, Donald Trump's administration has a history of using music without the artist's consent in the in controversial social media posts, with artists such as SZA, Sabrina Carpenter, and Jess Glynne hitting hitting back at their art being used to promote the administration's agenda. Now, musician Kesha has joined them after her track Blow was used on February 10th in a White House TikTok showing videos of fighter jets bombing a ship. The video was captioned, I'm guessing lethal, because it says the video was captioned Lethalitia. In a statement, Kesha shared, "It has come to my attention that the White House has used one of my songs on TikTok to incite violence and threaten war. Trying to make light of war is disgusting and inhumane. I absolutely do not approve of my music being used to promote violence of any kind. Love always trumps hate. Please love yourself and each other in times like this. This show of blatant disrespect for human life, and quite frankly, this attack on all of our nervous systems is the opposite of what I want." I'm going to show y'all what I'm looking at, because for those that can see, um, I don't want y'all thinking like, did she have a stroke in front of our eyes? I didn't. I didn't. Um, it's odd. Hold on. Beauty of technology. You see this? And no, that is not how it originally was when I originally pulled the information. But you see what I mean? By extra letters, extra accents, extra. Just. And for those that keep saying and speculating that Barron Trump is running uh, the White House TikTok page, no. First of all, because y'all are like, oh, I can tell by the music choices. We don't know if Barron Trump even likes music. We don't know what type of music he likes. We ain't spotted him at a concert. He ain't dropped a playlist for us. We don't know. And y'all like, oh, I can tell by his swag. What swag? He looks like he would have been the lead of a Nazi squadron. That man looks like he was plucked from prime Nazi recruiting, placed in a time machine, and zoomed here to the present. Competency quits. Right. It was written in Maga Speed. But I'm telling you, when I originally went through and looked at it, it was perfectly fine. You know what? I'm glad that I take notes on so many things. I just didn't take notes on that one because I was like, oh, all the information is here. I could just read. A quick caveat, quick bit of housekeeping. Today is going to be a day of Daz. Okay, I'm just breaking things up into categories, so not to just be sitting here willy nilly on live all day long with y'all. If you are subscribed over on the Taz J77 YouTube channel, make sure you have notifications turned on. If you are not subscribed over here, make sure you do and turn on notifications, because I've got updates regarding Erica Kirk and the whole Kirk conspiracy. Epstein Maxwell files updates, And we're bringing back Conversations with Taz tonight, and we got some news, some commentary, all that good stuff popping off. And yes, there will be forthcoming interviews on Conversations with Taz. We're going to get the conversations back popping. Your girl just need a little bit of time to get things. His swag right. I'm like, what swag does Batman have? So yeah. Today's just one of the days because I did get through. Last night we got through Hillary Clinton's deposition. Today we got through Bill Clinton's deposition. Both are about 4 hours, 30 minutes, give or take a few minutes. I did my best to not interject too much to prolong it. But yeah, last night, to those that watched with me, we were up till a little after 1 a.m. Eastern. And to those that came back and watched, much love. But final story for today for the Taz Effect: U.S. offering military support insurance for Middle East oil and gas shipments. Trump's announcement is the first sign his administration is starting to take seriously the surge in fuel prices that began after the U.S.-Israeli attacks against Iran. I don't know why Trump thought that the oil in Venezuela was going to be enough when oil magnates here in the United States did not want to go over to Venezuela and did not want to touch that oil with a 10-foot pole that belonged to somebody else. The White House will offer naval escorts and political risk insurance for oil and gas tankers traversing the Strait of Hormuz, President Donald Trump said Tuesday in a bid to cool energy prices that have surged since Iran warned it would attack ships at the choke point. It does not matter what you do. You can put political risk insurance all over those things. Nobody wants to be blown up with oil. Don't nobody want to be blown up, period. But don't nobody want to be blown up on the ship with oil. See, if they hit the boat, depending on where they hit the boat and how they hit the boat, with what they hit the boat, you can plausibly survive. Let's not forget how many smaller vessels we, as in the U.S., have hit in the past since last year. And there were people who survived. But oil? Ain't nobody trying to do that. And knowing that there is a risk, oil companies sending anybody over there to retrieve it, and then they lose people. Oh, what they're opening themselves up for, I don't think they want, because that's not going to save them any money, and it's not going to decrease any oil prices for the rest of us when all these families start suing the pants off everybody. I was kicked out today during President. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, today has been a it's been a weird one. I have put out several updates regarding several news stories. I do not know if anybody is seeing any of them anywhere. I'm not getting I don't believe it's an accurate read on any of the analytics. And I'm saying that because the analytics don't make sense. I'm getting shown that I have no views, but I got likes. I got I don't know. I don't. But in a smooth 30 minutes, I will have the Epstein Maxwell updates for you. At 7 o'clock, still will do my best to get Nobody's Girl by Virginia Roberts Giuffre out to you guys. Yeah, there's a lot. But as always, thank you for joining me here for the Taz Effect. And if you have a small business or you would like to see your place of employment advertised here at GCPR Radio, make sure you go to gcpr.live and click on Advertise with Us, or you can email us direct at gcprprod.live, and we will get you straight tonight. Get you in the mix tonight. Otherwise, as always, each one teach one, each one reach one. Do not do anything that will require bail, and most importantly, realize it only requires bail if you get caught. Till next time, y'all.
Cat booty coffee. Cat booty coffee.